Alright, we're going to play a little game here where we get to see if I'm going to finish this video first or if my Destiny 2 file will finish copying on PlayStation 5. Oh, Sony, I love you. I was going to have this open as the background on my TV there, standing in front of Savathun, because that's kind of what we're talking about today. But, of course, this process still exists for some reason. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is we are now under a month to go before the Witch Queen hits on February 22nd. Tomorrow is reset, and so I think that is 4 weeks, pretty much exactly, until Witch Queen launches. And I am hoping to see something. I'm going to say that my ideal scenario here is that I would love to see some sort of live event happen with the lead up to the Witch Queen. And there are different kinds of live events that the game can kind of unfold, and we've seen different sorts of these in the past. There's like a literal live event where we've seen, I think, 2 of these at this point, and they were both in the tower. One was the destruction of the Almighty, which took like 4 hours, but it was still fundamentally pretty cool. I thought that was kind of at the height of Fortnite doing stuff like that, and so Destiny was going to do stuff like that, but we haven't seen that too much since, at least seasonally. We did have the whole, the second live event, the Traveler repairs itself thing ahead of Beyond Light, as kind of the, they shut the game off for a while, and that's when everything was content vaulted, and they upgraded the game's engine, and we had to like re-download the whole game and stuff like that. But also leading up to that, we had a different kind of live event, which was kind of the week-to-week changes that were happening over the course of the game. And we'd seen that like seasonally sometimes, like remember the dots moving across the screen, that was the pyramids arriving, that also include clues that we were going to Europa. And then we had the sort of like pack up and evacuate live events where the different locations that were under siege by the pyramids started to like assemble boxes and stuff and then move things to the tower. Kind of a neat little, you know, just checking to see what had changed every week or so leading up to that. As of right now, we don't have anything like that ahead of the Witch Queen, so far as we can tell. There is nothing changing week to week. I keep going to Savathun every reset to seeing if her crystal is cracking or something, and if anything's changed there, and I keep like hallucinating changes that have been there from the very beginning, but nothing does appear to be changing. The problem is right now, the only scenario I can really see is we have essentially 1 week of stuff that's supposed to happen in Season of the Lost. We put Savathun on ice, I think, back in like October. I think that's the last time we really did anything with the Season of the Lost storyline, where Marasov kind of like super locked down Savathun, where like we can't even talk to her anymore. It's kind of a lore reason as to why nothing is happening for a number of months. But we really only have 1 week. Like we have some sort of quest. We have the ritual to perform to exorcise Savathun's worm. And I think we can all assume that the events of that are going to lead into pretty much the exact, you know, how the Witch Queen starts, where we don't know exactly what's going to happen. There's a lot of theories that, like, we'll exercise the worm, maybe we kill Savathun, or Mara kills Savathun, but then she's resurrected with the light, and we don't really know how she steals the light, and then goes to her throne world, and that's how the Witch Queen starts. This doesn't really lend itself to a live event in the traditional sense. You can't really have a live event in that instance little crystal chamber, because it's its own thing per player, or per fire team, I think, and the true live events do kind of have to be in the tower, and like nothing is really going on in the tower where that would indicate a live event there. One thing that I think is being ignored kind of completely so far is, you know, Bungie went to kind of great lakes to explain the lore reasons as to why those 4 planets were going away and why Leviathan just left. And then the other planets were shrouded in darkness. Some of the people died there, we think. Some left, like Anna Bray evacuated with Rasputin in his little exo or engram form. And then other people supposedly died, like Sloan and them, or Asher became a Vex. A lot of stuff happened. But the point is we have gotten nothing like that kind of leading up to the content removal of the Tangled Shore. We have gotten lore stuff that indicates that Marasov is really pissed at Spider for essentially making her brother a slave when he came back to life as a guardian, and like threatening to kill him at all times until we freed him. And there's lore about Spider wanting Drifter to smuggle him out of the Tangled Shore, but we don't there's nothing like in game happening there. Like Spider's not like packing up his bags to leave or anything. Like, and there's no indication that there is a story, like something in the game that we are going to experience that kind of explains away the Tangled Shore disappearing. We might get that, but there does not appear to be anything kind of unfolding week to week in the Tangled Shore that indicates it's leaving for some story reason, kind of like we got with the bags packing up. My ultimate dream would be some sort of like one-time mission where we like, I don't know, run the hollowed layer strike backwards and then like end up going into Spider's chamber and just like shooting him because, I mean, honestly, he deserves it at this point. And like we've killed a lot of people, so I don't think killing Spider is some sort of moral failing on our part, but that is probably wishful thinking. And so I don't think that's happening. But like the point is we have like really nothing being presented here as any sort of build up to the Witch Queen yet. Again, we're 4 weeks out, so this is something that could theoretically start tomorrow or the next week. It's just that, you know, nothing has happened yet, and the only thing that we know for sure is left to happen is whatever kind of the last quest for Season of the Lost is. And I don't know, just because of, you know, the Witch Queen is very hyped up, everyone's very excited for the Witch Queen, which is why I'm a little more surprised there's not really a more gentle lead-in to what we're seeing here. Like, I think content-wise, Destiny did as good as it could with the 30th anniversary event, where there's a new dungeon and there's Dares of Eternity, but that's like its own separate thing that is pretty much entirely outside of the storyline. Like, the dungeon and Dares of Eternity have nothing to do with Season of the Lost or anything going on in the Witch Queen. It's just kind of its own little fun thing that was, part of it's free, part of it was purchased separately, but it is outside of Season of the Lost. Whereas we are now heading into the final month of a 6-month season, and at least right now, there's no kind of like ongoing story component, and there is only what appears to be one more week of actual story. So it would be kind of weird to me if that was just like the final week or something, like the week before, and then, you know, Savathun flees or whatever happens, and then that's kind of it. We've gotten some indications that some storylines are not... Oh, it finished. There we go. Good job, PlayStation. We've gotten some kind of indications that certain story components are bleeding into next season. I saw Liana, community manager, say something in the TWAB about like how the Osiris stuff, like whether Osiris is alive or not, is probably going to be something that we're still investigating in the Witch Queen. I wonder if the seasonal stuff, like the season attached to the Witch Queen, might be about that. Like maybe it's us and Saint and Mithrax continuing their kind of like adventure to try and find Osiris, because let's just assume Savathun lies to us and doesn't give us Osiris back immediately once we exercise her worm. I think that's a pretty safe bet, but I also don't think he's dead. I know some people think he's just been dead this whole time. I don't think so. So I do wonder if the seasonal stuff will have to do with that. We also have questions about Crow, like where Crow's storyline goes from here, and that is something... it does not seem like that is being set up to, you know, have a hard ending right when the Witch Queen hits, unless you subscribe to the theory that, like, Savathun is going to siphon all the light from Crow, and that's how she gets the light and kill him. And I don't think they spent the last year building up Crow just to execute him. I just... that doesn't seem like a Bungie writer move to me. I don't see them doing that, so... I think his story will continue. I still think he's going to end up being the Hunter Vanguard down the road, but it is taking a long time to get there. But I just want some sort of like ongoing story thing that we can like check into, you know, week to week, some sort of development, even if it's minor, that helps the world kind of feel alive. It's, you know, that's different than just waiting like, okay, we've waited for 4 months and for, you know, 1 more week of, you know, story missions and a cutscene or something. I liked the way they used to do kind of live events, but even if that's off the table, some sort of like ongoing unfolding narrative, either through environmental storytelling or actual lore or something relating to either kind of what's coming in the Witch Queen or why the Tangled Shore is going away and Spider, something along those lines, but we just haven't seen anything like that yet. Given that we're within a month of release now, I'm really going to start hunting things down during reset here week to week. Like, I am really hoping to see something. My guess is that the final story mission probably wouldn't be the final week before the Witch Queen, because like if you were out of town, you just wouldn't, you know, be able to experience that. So my personal guess is the final story mission will be not tomorrow, but I would say a week from tomorrow. So that would give, I think, three resets for people to log in and finish the story. I don't think they would do it at the final week. It's too much of a risk that players could just miss the entire final chapter of the story if they did it that way, and I don't think we've really seen that happen before in terms of seasonal stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be misremembering that, but it's especially relevant in this case because all of the seasonal content is just going away. It's not like if you miss something from the end of Season of the Chosen or Season of the Splicer, you could still experience it when the next season rolled over because they were no longer removing seasonal content instantly like they used to. But now they're removing all of it. They're removing the entire year, and in addition to the Forsaken campaign. So that would be your last chance. So I doubt they would design an entire mission and storyline that could literally only be experienced for 1 week. I would say minimum 3 weeks. It could be tomorrow. I'm definitely going to look for it tomorrow, but my gut guess is the week after. I don't know. We'll see. But just hoping for something. I am very hyped for Witch Queen, but in-game there has not been a ton to do other than like Dares of Eternity farming and things like that. So hoping to see us return to the Season of the Lost storyline, get some sort of lore explanation for the Tangled Shore leaving, things like that. But I guess we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.